my big feelings. And I wonder if you do too, or if maybe you're someone who actually doesn't have a great relationship with their feelings and you're actually looking to deepen that. Wherever you are, I'm curious if this video is for you. My name is Faye Wyatt, and most of you already know me as that cuddle therapist and relationship coach. But something that I haven't really declared, this is really my first time saying out loud in a video, is that my primary work has always been emotional work. I love touch and I love conversation, I love talk, but the thing that I'm just really good at is being with emotions. That's, I would say, my zone of genius. And I realized that as I, talk to new clients a lot of times about doing work in an emotional way, a lot of people have these ideas like about what that might look like that's actually kind of far from the truth. So here are some 4 misconceptions that I just want to clear up and address. The first one is that emotional work is only for big feelers. So if you are somebody who already feels emotion in a big way, kind of like I do, I feel everything very big. And so it's like difficult for me to ignore. And a lot of my work has been to regulate my emotions. If you are someone like me, yes, you can highly benefit from emotional work because you already know how driven you are by your emotions. But the truth is that we think that those are the people who can benefit from emotional work, and actually all of us are driven by emotions, even if we don't feel them. So even if you're somebody that doesn't feel your emotions, you are still very likely to be affected by them. And what you can benefit from is learning to understand them and to actually notice them and express them and manage them. Because if you don't, then it feels like the world is just sort of happening to you a lot. And really what's happening is your emotions. So that's number one, that emotional work is not just for big feelers. It's for anybody who actually sees the benefit in having a deepened relationship with your emotions. Number two, a lot of people think that emotional work is all about like getting into those painful feelings like sadness and anger. And yes, oftentimes that's a lot of the time where the work needs to go, because those often are the biggest feelings and also the feelings that we tend to block the most. And having them unblocked and flowing and moving is really helpful to integration and healing. But that's not the only way that that goes. In fact, most of the work that I do with my clients is actually the most uncomfortable work we do with my clients is often inviting the feeling of safety and goodness and happiness. Like, don't forget about that part of the spectrum too, that joy and play and just like gratitude and compassion, those good feelings, right? I use these quotation marks because I think all feelings are good feelings, are sometimes the most important work. And so there's this misconception, like I have a new client that's working through their touch phobia right now. And there's this idea coming in that it's all going to be about like pushing them, like they think that we're going to be pushing them into uncomfortable situation so they can keep like facing their trauma. No, that's re-traumatizing. Actually, what trauma healing work looks like is learning to teach the body to feel good and feel safe. And that is challenging. Oftentimes we have a cap on how good we feel safe feeling good. So we'll only feel safe to like this level, and we'll sort of block everything else. And a lot of emotional work is all around doing that. Okay. Number three, a lot of folks think that because we're doing emotional work, that you're going to be like forced to feel really big feelings that are going to overwhelm you. And I just want to say that that is not the case. At least if I'm doing my job well, if your coach is doing their job well, that we're going to be with everything with gentleness and acceptance, including resistance. Resistance is also an emotion that you can just be with without pushing through, with love and acceptance and welcoming. Numbness can be a thing that you be with love, invitation, welcoming. So emotional work is not about pushing through to get into the stuff. It's actually about being with what is actually there. And what is actually there can be any number of things and any degree of things. And as you do that, yes, you will build up your window of tolerance for emotions of all kinds, sensations of all kinds, from sadness to anger to happiness, and pleasure. So all of that whole range, fear, all of that can be included. And lastly, number 4, a lot of people think emotional work is like kind of airy fairy, like, yeah, you feel really good, but it isn't really connected to action. And so people think that, all right, you do healing work so that you feel good, but then you got to go somewhere else to do all that goal-oriented, life-creating stuff. And I'm here to just like debunk that hardcore, because the number one thing I know about emotional work is that when I am feeling the way that I want to feel, when I'm feeling the way that I want to feel, the actions that I take become inspired, aligned, and easy. When I don't do the emotional work first and I just push through all of my things that I want to do and all of the goals that I want to get to, everything is really hard, and I will keep running into the same subconscious blocks that I keep running into. And so for me, doing my emotional work first has been essential to being successful. I'll tell you, like, all of the things that I have created in my life, my business, the conference that I made, the book that I'm writing, all of those things have come from really getting my emotional realm centered, aligned with, collaborated with. And then when I take action, it's like boom, it's really fast. And so emotional work takes into consideration the goals that you want to have. And it is true that if you feel good, some of the things on your to-do list might dissolve and some of your goals might change. But here's the thing that people are afraid that they're just going to feel good, and then they're going to just feel good, and then they're going to be lazy or something and then not do anything in the world. And that inherently is a mistrust of who you are underneath. I believe that when you feel really good, you are going to want to generate, and you're going to want to create, and you're not going to lose that spark. The better you feel, the more you're going to make in the world, and also the less you have to do in order to feel good. So that was just sort of a long-winded way of saying more good, more better. That's really all that is. All right, I wonder if these answered any of your questions about emotional work, if this changed something for you. I would love to hear in the comments an emotion that is actually really important for you to be with, or that you feel really challenged in being with. For me, mine is fear. Like, I need a lot of support in feeling the fear that I have, because if I don't, that even the tiny little teaspoon of fear will drive me away from doing things that I actually really care about. And so, like, learning how to like actually make room for the fear and speak for the fear and resolve the fear has been so paramount to my personal growth. I'm curious about what feelings are like that, what emotions are like that for you. Please like this video if you want to see more of this, and follow, subscribe, all of those things. You know how it goes. That really helps. All right. Take care of yourselves out there. Bye, everyone.